Alright, hello everyone, Simon here. Welcome back to our alphabet soup in Unreal. So, since the end of the last video, I had a think about my design of this kind of word, this sentence, this walkthrough of this sentence, and I made some modifications, as you can see. So I guess there were two major things. The first thing is that only only one actual sentence should be lit is what I thought, and the whole sentence should be lit. So remember before, like all the small letters were lit. When for example, the outside circle and the inside circle are basically just one repeats the other, right? And so I thought, well, there's really no point having both sides lit up because it doesn't really make sense. So now I've made it so that the lit up words form the sentence, and then the unlit words are kind of like just doubles or triples or quadruples to make up the geometry, right? So what the sentence actually is more clear than before. Like the lighting indicates what the sentence actually is. And the second important part is that I've changed the bottom half to something a lot more interesting and I think a lot more readable too. So the top part is pretty much the same. No more roundabout discussion up here on top of the O. And then back here, instead of just kind of one long slide down the exclamation mark, which is kind of boring. So now we have this kind of stepping down. So now we have of what makes a good person. So you step down, it's a bit slower, and you kind of move around a bit more, so it's a bit more interesting. And it also continues that roundabout expression or that metaphor, right? Because the normal roundabout discussion around the circle, and then you continue to spin round and round down here of what makes a good person. You kind of go round and round and round and down. And then you get down to here, and so now the bottom mirror is now just flat, which is also simpler. And B1 exclamation mark is back there as before. So I think this works better. I think this works better than before. Let me just launch it and we can play it in the actual engine. So that's what I thought. And that's what I've changed. Oh crap, it's HTML5. Cancel. Don't do that. Alright, do that one. Did I just crash this thing? I just crashed this thing, I think. No, it's not crashed. Alright, good. So HTML5, as far as I can tell, doesn't work. I haven't tried it again, but don't think it works. So yeah, so I think this new arrangement works a lot better than before, because before the circle was pretty interesting, but then when you just drop down, and then there was this kind of long straight path with words down both sides, and it wasn't very interesting before. Whereas now it's much more interesting, and I think you're more encouraged to read all the words. First of all, the words are repeated a lot more times. So like every single level behind the exclamation mark there, every single level is like 4 copies of the same word plus a few. Plus a few more for the. Well, that sucks. I might have to rebuild. This might take a while. Anyway, I'm talking anyway. Let me just rebuild everything. Yeah, so like the words are repeated a lot more times, and so you are much less likely to miss what the sentence actually is. And it just looks better, I think. It looks better. It's more interesting to walk through. So yeah, a significant improvement. So again, I'll just upload. I guess I'll like save or publish a copy of this, and then upload it for you guys to play with. There will be a Windows 64-bit version of this, so it only runs on Windows 64-bit. I mean, it's not like you're missing much though if you can't run it, right? It's just this. The lighting should take a little while. It shouldn't take too long. I'm a little concerned by the fact that it didn't compile properly though. I don't... I'm not sure that I should have to rebuild it, but maybe I do. Maybe I do have to rebuild it. What is there to say? Nothing else, I guess. The mirror is still... I don't think there's any way to increase the resolution of the mirror. Actually, the more I think about it, maybe if I put the center of the mirror... No, actually, I don't think it works that way. Like, would the mirror work better if the center of the mirror... Oh, wait, I see. I see. It's a box reflection capture. I'm not going to touch it now, but the version you play might be a little different, because I think after I finish recording the video, I'm going to change the box reflection capture to try and make this less awkward and weird down here. I think I know why. I think the boxes need to be bigger. If we look at the box reflection capture here somewhere, it's I think it's just not big enough to the sides, because you can actually see the box. You can actually see the mirrored box, which is you know, so the edges, you can kind of see the square edge there. So I think I just need to make it like a lot wider and a lot longer. Although, you know, when you're actually down here, you don't notice as much. You notice a little bit. When you're actually standing here, you don't really notice as much. So maybe it's not a big deal. The lighting does take a while to build because there's more lights. There's actually quite a few more lights. Because that wasn't lit before, right? And neither was the exclamation mark like that. And yeah, so you can see how I've, you know, just made a thin layer of lit materials on the underside, so you still can't see it from up here. But then when you get down below, then it's highlighted for you by the lit material, by the self-illuminated or the emissive material, and that's super interesting too. Like it's a staircase of words, I guess. I haven't actually come around here very often to look at all this. Well, I called the project Alphabet Soup, and it is a bit like an alphabet soup. Look at that, just letters piling on top of each other. Alright, we're up to 17% on the lighting, and it should go faster towards the end. Just wait for the lighting to be built. Don't really have anything else to say. I changed the color to light green. I mean, it was always meant to be light green. It's much lighter than it seems. So it doesn't look that light here. Look, this is the light green. It's almost white, right? In the preview. But when you actually put it on the texture, it seems much darker than it actually is. And I do understand that a lot of this is because it's in the shadow. Like, this is shadow, so you know, it's not that weird that it's dark. I'm just not sure. It's like everything is darker than it's I mean, this should be in full sunlight. Even in full sunlight, like, this is lighter than that. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. Although the sun is not as... Intensity is only 1. And the sun intensity usually is like, so it's usually 10. The default is 10. I don't know if I should turn up the intensity of the sun and skylight. I don't think I will. Anyway, I'm just gonna leave that for now. Yeah, the version you play might be a little different if I decide to mess around with the lights a little bit. The light intensity for the sun, I don't really know what a good value is. I don't want it too bright. If it's too bright, then it will drown out the emissive textures on the lit words. So I want to balance it so that the lit words are actually brighter than ambience, right? So like this, you can kind of see, you can read the word. Whereas if the sun was too bright, then everything would just fade into white, and then you can't read anything. So I do think the sun needs to be dimmer than default. It just makes the green darker, that's all, which is a little strange. You might not notice. So I use different light mass. I use different light mass resolutions. So like it's 512 on the parts that receive shadow. So you see the light mass map override light map resolution. Yeah, so the light map resolution is 215 or 512 on the parts that receive the detailed shadows. Whereas back here, this is just on the default 64. So the shadows back here is significantly less detailed. You can see the wavy shadow line there, which is odd, but it's low resolution because you don't see that, or you're not supposed to come back here and see that. So the things you see up close is a higher resolution than the stuff you can't see, or the stuff you see from far away. Alright, so let's try and launch this. See if this works this time. So yeah, so I've made a number of adjustments and changes. Most of them are small and small kind of details and performance changes. The big stuff is the rearrangement of the second half of the sentence here, right? This is the big change there. Alright, it says deploying, so it should be run. Okay, so it says running now. What? Unable to find F material uniform expression type. What? File, build. I don't know what's going on. Blend mode 25, why would that be a... Material Uniform Expression, CPP. It's a C++ file. I don't even know why I would need it. That's not it. Compiling. It's not a problem with the other one. Let me just save all. What if I like this package for Windows? Alphabet soup. What if I just package it? Do you think the packaged one will run? Roundabout. Oh, that's the project. Windows no editor, alphabet soup. Show output log. Build failed. Package complete. Well, it packages. And then if we come to here and we go roundabout, I don't know why it doesn't build in the engine anyway. No more roundabouts. Discussion. Cool. Cool, look at that. Oh. You can kind of see down there, it's just this whole jumble of letters. Of what? I think you can actually jump out if you're clever, but I'm not gonna jump out. Of what makes a like it looks like there's massive holes where you can't go through them. What makes a good person? B1. Alright, so that's it. So there you go. So this is the probably the file that you're gonna be able to download in the video description, I guess. Alright, I'm gonna end it here. You guys can walk around and look at the stuff if you want to. Looks pretty good. I like how it looks. Alright, good. Enter to go back to the start and escape to stop it. Alright, so that's it. That's it. So I spent like 3 hours rearranging the letters and everything. I might want to try and figure out why it won't launch, but it builds properly, it just doesn't want to launch. I don't really understand. Probably something in the launch settings. Alright, I'll see you. I think I'm done with this. And I don't know what I'm going to do next with Unreal, if anything. So anyway, I'll see you.